want to start making friends with similar hobbies to you, but it's not always that easy in New York City. There are a lot of people here. However, a lot of times people are meeting people that are so different from each other, which is great. That's one of my favorite things about New York City. But at the same time, sometimes you want people in your life who have similar interests to you, and I completely get that as well. So my first step I would take if I was looking to find someone that was like similar to me is I would go on a few different websites. I would go on meetup.com. I don't know if you've heard of this website, but basically it is exactly what the name is it just provides a place online for people to post meetups in New York City. Now, this app/website doesn't exist only in New York City. I'm pretty sure it exists all over the world. I know it definitely exists all over the United States, but it's used a lot here. And when I first came to New York City, I actually used this app all the time. Now, another place where you can go to also find people with similar interests as yourself is actually Facebook groups. So New York City loves Facebook groups. There are a lot of different Facebook groups for neighborhoods, for housing, and then even for things like this, for particular interests or hobbies. So you might be able to find people with similar interests to you through these Facebook groups. So this is definitely something that I didn't use that much because Facebook group, back when I first came to New York City, Facebook groups weren't as of a big deal as they are now. I would say that for housing, they were definitely used, but when it came to like interest or socially, Facebook groups weren't used as much at that time. Now I hear so many people meeting people from Facebook groups. It's crazy. So another thing that you can do is if you're looking for something sports related or athletic, then you can also join a sports league. Now, some of these sports leagues, they have so many different sports leagues now. So they have everything from bowling, cornhole, dodgeball, football, kickball, pickleball, city scavenger hunt type of things. There's everything. So if you're into sports or want to get into sports, you can definitely find a group or a league that does it right here in New York City. There's so many of them. So I'm not a sports person, but even I did this when I was in my early 20s because I just wanted to meet more people in the area. But if you're into like pop culture, you can also try to go to a trivia night or something like that, or a viewing party for a certain like event or premiere. I know I'm going to lose some people at this point, but say if you happen to watch like The Bachelor, Bachelorette, there are viewing parties all around New York City. So if you just want to meet other people who also like The Bachelor and Bachelorette, you can easily do that in New York City. Or say that you're really into the Friends TV show, right? Like that's a huge part of your life. You love Friends. So many people do here. So I would say that another thing that you can do is why don't you just go to a Friends trivia night? There are so many different trivia nights for all different type of themes and things around New York City. So that could be something fun that you could do too. You can just go to a trivia night. There's so many of them. So you get what I'm doing? Like I'm just kind of looking at like what interests you in your life and then think about how you can basically find those type of people in New York City. There's so many different ways. I can almost guarantee you, no matter what your hobby or interest is, there is definitely at least one person in this giant city who is also interested in that as well and wants to make friends. There are 8 million people in New York City. 8 million. So one day I got bored and I started Googling how many people are in other places around the world, other cities, other states, other towns. And when I looked at 8 million compared to all those other numbers I was pulling, I was like, oh my God, that's so many people. So there's no reason you can't find a friend who has a similar hobby to you. There's just no reason. So as you can see, I am all about getting creative. And in my early 20s, I got really creative with how I was just definitely meeting people and making friends. So I would love to know in the comments, was there a unique way that you met one of your friends in New York City? Or do you guys have any suggestions for other people who are reading the comments as well? As always, I love hearing from you guys.